Hey, what's up, gang? It's Matt Modi with DodgeJam. And if you're like me, you're probably pretty pumped for the NFL season to start. We're like only 6 weeks away, which is awesome. So something I'm going to be doing over the next couple days is just divisional previews, giving a breakdown of the favorites, the teams in each division, stuff like that. And then what I also did is put all the futures odds pulled from the DodgeJam site into a spreadsheet where I'm going to de-vig the odds and see if there's any mathematical value on any of the teams. So that's something is always kind of interesting. But starting off, what we're looking at here, I figured I would start with probably what is the best division in the entire NFL, the AFC West Division. I believe they have the highest over-under in terms of total win total if you add all the four teams up. Of course, the Chiefs, even with trading away Tyreek Hill, remain the favorite here. Pinnacle, the DodgeJam line, has them at plus 159. Looks like the best odds you can get are at plus 165 on PointsBet. With Kansas City, they kind of melted down in the AFC Championship game last year at home to the Bengals. That was pretty disappointing. The second time they had melted away against the Bengals last season. What really doomed them was their offense just went to a complete halt in the second half. The Bengals defense really stepped up. Now, coming into this season, their left tackle is currently holding out Orlando Brown for a new contract. Obviously, the biggest question mark is going to be what they're going to do to try and replace Tyreek Hill. He's missed time in the past, and the Chiefs have kept on winning, but they've never had him without a full season, right? They've never had him without the entire year. And we can think of multiple times where he just kind of bailed them out. We thought that Tyreek Hill had the game-winning touchdown against the Bills when he just took that 60, 70-yard touchdown, whatever it was, caught a slant, took it to the house. He also had a long catch in the after the Bills scored to get them back in the field goal range. Just an electric playmaker that the Chiefs have never really had to figure out what life is like without him. Now, I trust Mahomes. I trust Andy Reid. I'm a little worried about their receiving weapons. They don't really have, no one is Tyreek Hill, but they don't even really have a speed threat. Like Marquez, they brought over Valdez-Scantling from the Packers, but he kind of disappointed. And if you're not going to perform with Aaron Rodgers, it's kind of a bad bet to perform. He's going to do better with another quarterback, even as good as Mahomes is. Rodgers is just as good. Kelsey's another year older, but the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. So I'm so surprised that they're the favorite to win the division. If I had to give my official prediction, I probably would take the Chiefs, but I really do like this division. Next up, the Chargers, who have an awesome roster. I feel like every year the Chargers have a top 5 talented roster, but they have yet to been able to really put it together. Justin Herbert has had 2 incredible years, missed the playoffs both years, as my dog wants to say hi. Last year, really disappointing to miss the playoffs. The fact that they had a win and in against the Raiders, who were missing their head coach for like 3/4 of the year, however long that was, and lost the way they did, pretty disappointing. They have the talent. I love what they did in the offseason, bringing in Khalil Mack, firming up their pass rush, firming up their defensive line. They brought in a big nose tackle as well, which is huge for the type of defense that Brandon Staley runs. They have talent at all the skill positions. They have a good offensive line. On talent alone, I see no reason why the Chargers wouldn't be one of the best teams in the NFL. They just have to prove it to me first. I think I've been hurt too many times by the Chargers. So plus 240 on FanDuel, I don't hate. I would imagine that it would end up not beating the closing line in terms of with the VIG removed, which I will show you how to do later. And next up, the Broncos, bringing in Russell Wilson, ton of hype around them. Looks like the odds makers aren't really buying it. They're pretty firmly in third place in the division behind the Chiefs, behind the Broncos. I could see the Broncos making a run. Their defense was kind of disappointing last year for how much talent they have on the defensive side, but also, when your quarterback situation is as doomed as it is, there's been a lot of players have come out and said that as soon as a quarterback change is made, you'd be surprised to see how well the defense plays and kind of in response to that. And I'm a big Russell Wilson fan. I think Russell Wilson's great. He was having a great year last year before he got injured, before he broke his finger, and he came back too quick, and that Seattle season was kind of derailed by the time he had come back. So I don't really put that much against him. It's the first time he's really had a serious injury. I think it's the first time he's ever even missed a game, if I recall correctly. So I'm a big Russell Wilson guy. Obviously, there's no value if you do want to take the Broncos to win the division. OddsJam has it at plus 272, and that's not even with the big remove. So really no value there. What it looks like, my guess is, going to be the biggest value is going to be on the Las Vegas Raiders. And I actually understand that for a lot of reasons. Now, to start with the negative, I'm not a big fan of Josh McDaniels. I don't think he's going to be a good head coach, and that is probably my biggest holdback with them. But if you look at what they did last year, if you look at the talent on the team, Derek Carr I don't think is going to ever be a top 5 quarterback, but you can win with him. He's solid enough to win with. So would I be surprised if the Raiders finished 13-4, 12-5, something like that? I wouldn't. I think they're going to have a good defense. I think Devontae Adams was a huge boost for that offense. They've had a pretty good offensive line in Derek Carr's career. So now he has Devontae Adams to throw to, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller at tight end, Josh Jacobs at running back. I really think this Raiders team can be a pretty legit regular season team. So that's kind of the football analysis of everything. Now what I want to do is show you the spreadsheet where I put in all the odds and then I put in a bunch of formulas to calculate the fair odds. So basically how this works is Pinnacle and odds in general have an applied win percentage associated with them. So you can calculate it. It's actually pretty easy. You just do 100% divided by 100% plus whatever the odds are. In this case, we're plus 159. So without the VIG removed, the Pinnacle has the implied win percentage of the Chiefs winning the division at 38.61%. Going down, the Chargers at just above 30, 26 for the Broncos, in like just under 14 for the Raiders. But if you add all this up together, like if you sum this, that adds up to 111%, which means that there's a VIG of about 11.05%. Now, the VIG, as everybody is become accustomed to in our videos, is the juice that sportsbooks price odds to make their money. It's no different. VIG is charged on futures odds as well. It's no different. It's actually more VIG is charged in futures. If you think just like a standard minus 110, if I go to if I go to the hold calculator and you just type in minus 110 each way, which is like the most standard lines you'll see, that is a VIG percentage of 4.76%. And again, we're getting a VIG of over 11% for this futures market. So there's a ton of VIG that is charged on futures. So what you need to do is remove the VIG and find out the no VIG fair odds win percentage. You can do that with a formula as well. All you need to do, I need to delete this, is just add, you divide the fair win percentage of what the team is. So in this case, the Chiefs 38%, and you divide that by the summed total of everything, and that gets you the true win percentage. And we know this is done right if it adds up to 100%. So we see here at the bottom, that's too small, I can zoom in. 100% sum at the bottom. That means that we have now correctly removed the VIG. And these are now the no VIG true win percentages for each team. So the Chiefs went from 38 to 35, the Chargers 31 to 28, and so on and so forth. And once you have the true win percentage, you can back out the fair odds from there, which is exactly what's done here. So the Chiefs go from plus 159 to plus 187. The Chargers go from plus 216 to plus 250, and so on and so forth. So looking at the odds, it does look like the only team that is a positive expected value future is the Raiders at about plus 700 on FanDuel. Now, that's not a massive gap between the no VIG Pinnacle odds and the FanDuel odds, but it's still positive expected value. So my official prediction is I think the Chiefs win the division. I'm going pretty basic with that. There's just enough track record of regular season success with the Chiefs. I think their defense could actually be pretty good. So my official prediction is the Chiefs, but my math prediction, I'm going with the Raiders. I'm trusting the math. Again, Josh McDaniels makes me nervous. I think he has, train wreck potential. He's already proven to be a train wreck head coach. And I think because it was so long ago, I think people forgot just how bad he was as a head coach. It was awful what he did when he was in Denver. And then he went to the Rams, where he didn't really have any success. He's only ever had success with the Patriots with Tom Brady, which I feel like I could probably coach Tom Brady and have some regular season success. So coaching reasons makes me really, really nervous, but I'm not going to go against math, and I will have my actual bet here. I'm going to put like half a unit on the Raiders to win the division. I'm only going to put like $25 on it to get the Raiders to win the division. Because I do understand it for pretty much every other reason except for the coaching aspect of it. So let me go to the NFL. Division winners. Go to the AFC West and put just $25, half a unit on the Raiders to win the division. So 25 to win, 175. If you are tailing, I would recommend like the max to put on this at 1 unit, because I mean, they are in last place for a reason, or the last place odds for a reason. The Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos are all really good teams. So the Raiders would really have to catch magic to win the division, but I could see it happening. So this is going to be my official math prediction for the Raiders to win the AFC West. But if I were to give without looking at the odds, just my prediction based on what I know about football and my knowledge of it, I would still go with the Chiefs, but there's no math behind that. There's no positive EV play there, so I'll sit it out in terms of officially betting it, and that's going to be it. So let me know what you think. Hopefully the math behind this wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, Modi_Matt. I'd be happy to walk you through anything, but that's going to be it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.